7 in the morning. We did it. We got up. We went to the mat. We're here. Welcome to week, I believe this is week 8. And I'm still trying to figure out the rhythm of this. So I think like week 7 and week 8 are the same video, but then week 9 I'll start something else. So I will be practicing the same flow for 2 weeks, but at the end I'll move to the next flow and the different type of yoga to learn and to walk through. I think I want to make a video once a week, but I want to make sure that it works for like a working person. I unfortunately can't make content full time. So last week and starting today for next week, we're doing a yoga flow for beginners. It's Vinyasa, Intro to Flow with Yoga with Adriene. I've done it before. Yeah, it's getting easier. My acid reflux is just off the charts. I'm afraid something deeper might be wrong. General check-in has not been stellar. I feel like I'm under this delusion that like yoga can fix it all. Maybe I do need to be spending some time on some of the more pressing biological things happening in my body. So there's that. I would say my lower back is in a lot less pain. So it's, 8 weeks in and oh my God, that's almost 2 months. Anyway, 8 weeks in and my lower back pain is gone. I have incorporated daily walk at like lunchtime at work. I think the stretching and the walking is all really good. So that's really exciting because I've dealt with back pain since I was 25 and I'm waking up mornings without noticing it sometimes. So I think that's progress. I don't know if that means I'm getting more flexible in my lower back and hips, but I couldn't imagine that hurting. Okay, so let's get into the flow. Thank you for being here. We'll just keep it going and see what happens.
Can't believe I'm this far out of frame already. Yeah, so again, in this practice, the instructor has us sit in Sukhasana, which is the accomplished pose, which is sitting, and she has us kind of assess and set the pace of our breathing for the rest of the practice, because this is a beginner's flow and she really introduces the concept of connecting the breath and body movements. So like where are the inhales, where are the exhales, things like that. I tried to like clean my office and clean the mat with Lysol wipes, but I'm still seeing stains on it. So, oh well, I have really calloused feet, so it is what it is at this point. I feel like when I look at YouTube videos of professionals, they don't even ever have the camera on the angle of their mats, or sometimes they do, but it's usually like a direct angle looking forward, so the mat is actually flat. Maybe that's just what I need to figure out how to do in the office space that I have, which is not that big. Yeah, so breathing, getting into it, really relaxing into, I'm sitting on a block, I know you can't see it, and that I think is a really nice entryway. Then I think the first couple poses are cat-cows. She really does a good job setting us up, so like getting the framing of it good, and exhaling, inhaling, exhaling in a position that pushes out the air of your lungs, inhaling where there's volume to expand your lungs. I'm not quite sure. I guess breathing and body movement, I don't know like the scientific evidence of what it does, but I think, based on vibes, it feels like that just allows for brain, body, mind connect. Getting you to focus and just stay present. Yeah, I squared my hips down. Again, this is good for lower back. This strengthens the lower back. It's hard to stay square, so I know. Yeah, I had to re-square at some point. Yeah, that's good. That one's a little less square. But squaring your hips so that they're parallel to each other during that exercise adds another layer of like core training. That's pretty good. Yep. I was very intentional about squaring my hips this time, and that's awesome because that's learning when I'm doing it, maybe without as many cues, or I don't think it's something the instructor focuses on a lot. Okay. And here we have child's pose to, I think this is supposed to just be child's pose, breathing to a stretch outward with breath. But I do it into little push-ups because I'm trying to build that strength. I want to be able to do like 5 push-ups by the end of this year. Like full-on push-ups. We'll see. I can definitely do 1 at least. But yeah, it's fun. It's child's pose. Like I feel like doing an intense thing such as a push-up, even if it's a half push-up into a child's pose. Like the child's pose is always like this sweet reward of rest after an intense pose, or it can be. The first downward dog, I don't feel like I leaned into my hips as much, but it's always the first one. And I'm not sure. I feel like in downward dog, eventually I want to get my heels to the floor. Right? Not sure. Yeah, but that's just like pretty bad ankle mobility and lack of flexibility. But hey, I've built flexibility and strength in other places. I think I can get there. So here we kind of start the traditional vinyasa flow with halfway lifts and ragdolls, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, mountain pose. I think that's called the sunrise flow. But yeah, we sit in this forward fold for a long time as we're getting warmed up and starting, which is nice. And it's easy in forward fold to like lose the focus of your feet, but it's really important to distribute the weight evenly in even a passive pose like forward fold. Yeah, now we're in mountain. Again, out of frame. I don't really know how to combat that with the space that I have, but maybe I'll figure it out in the next couple weeks. Yeah, this is just breathing in mountain pose. Hands up, overhead. Inhale. Exhale, down into forward fold. Inhale into halfway lift. It looks like my back isn't as flat as it should be. I'm definitely like still at an angle. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Legs distributed. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, or inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hands up. And I think now, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale. Oh, no. And we do some lunges. But yeah, that's like the general connection of flow and body. Oh my God, my cats were fighting, so I had to like pause the video and change it up. But this is just lunge into pyramid stretch. And the pyramid stretch is still really difficult on the back of my hamstrings. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up, mountain pose. I played with my clothes so much today. I was really like not sensory satisfied with that stuff. Exhale. All right. Lunge, low lunge. Hands up into low lunge. Back down. Exhale into pyramid stretch. Again, so hard in the back of the leg. Always feel that one. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down. I shake it out all the time. It's just so fucking funny. That's just a frame of my booty. I had the framing down pretty okay before, so I gotta readjust and figure it out again. Yeah, and here she just has us do left ear to left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, and then we lift our hands up, hands up. We do a little thing with our hands up, and pop our hip out, like right hip out. Bend to the left, and then left hip out, bend to the right. So exhale, forward fold. All right, so here comes like the planks and the downward facing dogs, which I thought were going to be easier at this point, but still really hard to get through. I was able to, though, which is awesome. That downward dog looks a little bit more like a nice angle. Exhale, so it's inhale, downward dog, exhale, plank, inhale, downward dog, exhale, plank, all the way down. Exhale, inhale, baby cobra. This part's really, it doesn't hurt as much on my lower back. And before it was, my lower back was hurting when I was trying to do a full plank, but it doesn't hurt so much anymore. And this pose, I can't lift my chest up too much or else the back pain does kick in. So this is easy to push. So just trying to be mindful of how far back of a back bend I can actually do. Going into a lunge. Yeah, this is just side twists, and before she would have us, or in the video, the instructor has us with our left knee down, and then you move it up, but I think I'm strong enough now that I can do all of these openers with the back leg up, my left leg up, which is great. Went a little bit further up there. It was good. Inhale into downward dog. Exhale into lunge. Fix your clothes. Same thing, back leg up. And twisting open. Yeah, it's not so hard to do this anymore, which is exciting. At least holding it upright. I guess my back leg could be a little bit more back, a little bit more, and stretched out a little bit more. That probably is more of a strength training pose in that case. Back down, plank, back down. Ugh, it's so good when it's like when you finally get to the pose that is like supine or laying down. You know the practice is winding down, and you know that effort, the hardest effort part is done. She has us do some quick bridges, and this is bridges more aligned with breath work. So exhale, come down, inhale, come up, inhale, come down, exhale, come down, inhale, come up. And I like that it's focused on the breath work here in bridge rather than pushing my lower back to try to be a better bridge. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we're past the hardcore part. Left leg down, hold the right leg close to your body, roll out the ankle, and then twist to the left to do a supine twist. Always a great wind down twist. I hate getting into it, but once I'm in it, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I'm here. Do the twist on the other side. And then again, this one's so nice. She has it, she could either like have your legs bent or legs knocking in during this, but I like to have my legs out in butterfly-ish pose because that's where I get a lot of hip release. And yeah, and then we exhale, turn your head to the side as you inhale, exhale as you massage out the back of your neck on the block. I tried doing this with a pillow earlier this week. It just wasn't the same. So I got the blocks at 5 below, if that makes anyone feel better. And it does the job So sometimes it doesn't have to be complicated. Shake it out, yes. Ah! My cat just stared at me. She's, what are you doing? All right. Back into Shavasana. I see the vein popping out on the side of my neck. Whew. Yeah. And definitely trying to rest, like really lean into the corpse thing, so I don't do anything fancy in Shavasana anymore. I really just lie there and let the ground support me. She has us put our thumbs to our third eye. And that's where I give my gratitude, and I thank my body, and I think, yeah, I just thank myself for showing up. I thank the instructor in that moment when I was mad at my cats for yelling. I thanked my cats. I thanked my partner. I thanked my friends. I thanked my mind and my body for waking up today. Yeah.
So nice, as always. I thought by this time the planks into downward dog would be easier, but alas, still difficult. A lot of core stuff that I want to build up. I feel very chill right now. At some point my cats are fighting in the middle of it, and I just let it go. Yeah, thank you for being here. I think we'll go with another vinyasa next week, and maybe go back to some more like restorative and yin, because I think, again, that's really where I want to end up getting certified. But I do think it's important to strengthen and gain flexibility first. Take care. It's gonna be a gloomy weekend, but maybe make that the excuse to finally rest. All right, thanks.